What is going on, everybody? Weedletwineedle here, and we are back here with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Juan. Now, I battled my opponent off my Discord server, so if you guys are interested in a Sun and Moon battle in Trade Discord chat room, feel free to check out my Discord server. A link will be in the description. Now, me and my opponent are having a rarely used battle today. Now, my opponent seems actually pretty damn threatening. He has Vaporeon, Umbreon, Rotom Cut, Hoopa, Nidoqueen, and Heracross, some pretty prominent threats in the RU tier. As I'm using a pretty fun team, I'm using Sand, like a semi-sand team that's not really meant to be taken seriously, with Rock Polish, Aurorus, Sand Rush? No, Sand Force, that's the ability. I have Life Orb, Cacturne, Eviolite, Golbat, and all that fun stuff. So let's just get right into this battle because it's a pretty good battle if I do remember correctly. So turn 1, I'm going to be leading off with my Gigalith as my opponent is going to lead off with the Vaporeon, realizing that I have 3 things weak to water. Nice analysis on her behalf. So she's actually going to go for the Z move here, and I'm like, oh god, please don't be the water Z move. And it looks like it's normal, so I'm like, what kind of Z move could this possibly be? And it ends up that he has a Z Happy Hour. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so money just went everywhere. Call this freaking ballistic over here. Anyway, Toxic gonna freaking poison that Vaporeon and make it easier to kill, but Z Happy Hour gives it +1 in all of its stats. And I'm like, wait a minute. This Vaporeon's actually a big threat, because, like, I'm pretty sure that this makes it, like, really bulky and just, like, hits like a truck as well. I don't know what kind of investment it has, but knowing Vaporeon, I can run many EV spreads, and I'm sure this one has a nice mix of offense and defense. So, yeah, he reveals Ice Beam here, expecting my Cacturne switch in. And now here, I'm expecting him to predict me to stay in, expecting me to expect the Ice Beam. So I'm going to switch into my Cacturne here, expecting, Hydro Pump or Surf, but, he goes for Ice Beam again. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess, I had no Ice Resist, so, very well, right, but I could have just stayed in. But I guess I didn't want to sack off my Gigalith this early on, so it was a nice play, and I just sacked off my Cacturne for nothing. Nice choke on my part, I can respect that. But Vaporeon's brought to half health. I'm going to bring in my Aurorus here. I am timid max speed. I should be able to outspeed Vaporeon. But, Vaporeon outspeeds me, but thankfully Aurorus just dodges to the side, thanks to, Aurorus being very skillful, and I'm just going to knock out this Vaporeon with the Freeze Dry. And actually it doesn't die, but, Sand's going to help me out in that regard. So yeah, that Vaporeon could have been a pretty big problem if, Aurorus didn't skillfully avoid the Hydro Pump. Now, anyway, in comes Heracross, the horny, very original Heracross nickname. As now, I'm going to switch out and bring in my Stealth, my Golbat here, hoping I can just face tank whatever move he wants to go for, as he just chooses to go for Knockoff. Nicely done, that gets rid of my Eviolite, that makes Heracross able to kill me. But I do carry Brave Bird, so I have no reason not to go for it, really. Brave Bird just hits everything on his team. As here, he's just going to choose to bring in his Rotom. Not named 6-foot Hacks. I'm very disappointed. Where is the meme, guys? You're supposed to name your Rotom after Leo, but no, come on. Get with it. Anyway, gonna Brave Bird the Rotom, and now I decide, okay, I looked at the damage and I'm like, that Rotom, that took a lot of damage for, any defensive Rotom, so I figured he was offensive, and I decided to stay in here expecting him to want to predict my switch, and that pretty much reveals to me that he's Choice Scarf, considering he went for Leaf Storm on a Golbat. He must have been expecting my Alolan Dugtrio, and I'm able to destroy him, but the Rotom Cut lives with 1 HP, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well that's something. As now I'm going to choose a double switch because I'm expecting him to want to switch out, but at the same time I just bring in my Tarik here because he's at -2, and with the Sand, I'll be able to knock him out with the Sand damage and then get the Sand going again. But yeah, he decides to bring a Nidoqueen. Is here. I decided to make a ballsy play and bring in my Aurorus on the Earth Power because I know that I can live this Earth Power thanks to the Sand, as we're able to, which allows me to get my weakness policy. Yes, I had to sneak a weakness policy on this team somewhere, guys. Should have expected it. So now, I can just go for Hyper Voice and demolish this thing as my opponent realizes that he's going to sack off this Rotom Cut. And now I'm going to go for the Rock Polish, expecting me to sack off. So I'm pretty much faster than everything on my opponent's team, especially with this Rotom being gone. My opponent did say that it was Choice Scarf Rotom, and that is why I went for Leaf Storm on Golbat, which I kind of figured after seeing the Brave Bird damage. But now in comes the Umbreon, and now I'm going to go for Hyper Voice, hope it does a decent amount of damage, maybe even knock him out, but Umbreon just face tanks that like a snack, and a Foul Play is going to knock out my Aurorus. This Aurora should have been dead, turn 2, because, Hydro Pump in it, the Vaporeon outspeeding me, but hey, we take those. We got nice chip damage on the Umbreon. It's about half HP, so now I can bring in my Alolan Dugtrio, my Fabio, And I do have the Sand, it's not Sand Rush, it's Sand Forest. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Sand Rush. But I have the Sand Forest boosted EQ, and it should be able to knock out the Umbreon. Thankfully, we're able to knock him out. That piece of crap Umbreon stopped my Aurora sweep, which made me really upset. I was like, oh my god, this Aurora is going to sweep, even though it should have died turn 3. And then, you know, Umbreon cockblocked me, but it's okay. Anyway, in comes Heracross, and the sand wore off, so I'm pretty much forced to bring in my Gigalith again to set up the sand so my Sand Force Dugtrio can actually do work. But yeah, gonna go for the close combat onto my Gigalith, and this should just knock me out with the Guts boost, as it does easily. Even though I'm a defensive Gigalith, it just does not matter because Heracross hits really hard. So down goes my Gigalith, and Heracross is gonna take some sand and burn damage, as well as since it has a defense drop. I'm confident that my Dugtrio will be able to knock him out with the Iron Head with the Stab, Sand Force, Life Orb boosted Iron Head, so my opponent is going to decide to switch out again and bring in the Nidoqueen just to, I think, stall out Sand turns, I'm assuming, as I'm going to go for the Iron Head onto the Nidoqueen, do a big chunk of damage, as I'm going to just choose to go for it again, really. The Iron Head did a lot. I'm not sure if this is the defensive or offensive Nidoqueen, as I know they're both viable in RU, but the Iron Head's going to easily knock out the Nidoqueen. I'm sure Earthquake would have one-shot it anyway, but whatever. As now in comes Horny once again, the Heracross, and I do believe this is my opponent's last. No, he actually has 2 mons left. I'm going to choose to just go for Iron Head here. He has this and Hoopa. That's right, that's right. And it actually knocks him out with a critical hit, and I'm not sure if that mattered in all honesty. I'm sure it could have, because Heracross's base defenses aren't bad, but I think Alolan Dugtrio deserves that kill. As now in comes Hoopa, and here I decided to go for Stone Edge. Hoopa skillfully dodges it, as now the Shadow Ball is just going to knock out my Dugtrio. I just wanted to see if Stone Edge can knock him out because of the Sand Force, but unfortunately Alolan Dugtrio just could not hit it. But there's a lot of hacks in this battle, so I can't even say anything. Hacks on both sides. As now I'm going to bring in my Golbat here to scout out for, whatever move he has, as he actually reveals that Hyperspace Hole, so this move looks really cool. I'm going to freaking go through the void and then just kill my Golbat. And this looks like a GG for me, because all I have left is a Banette. And Banette really can't do much to Hoopa, so I'm going to bring in my Banette here, my Voodoo Doll. And I am actually Choice Scarf Banette, so I could knock him out with Shadow Claw, but instead I decided to go for Destiny Bond instead. Just because I'm like, why would I win the game when I can tie the game instead? So I go for Destiny Bond, as Hoopa's going to Shadow Ball me, knock me out. But since my Scarf Banette did have Destiny Bond, I will be able to take out this Hoopa as well. And down goes the Hoopa, and we actually lose against Juan technically, but I counted it as a tie, so whatever, because I could have killed it with Shadow Claw. But I decided to Destiny Bond for fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. It's pretty close and hacksy. It was pretty much for fun, honestly. If you guys enjoyed the game, I really would appreciate if you hit the like button, as it's much appreciated, and your guys' support means the world to me. And then the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite Rotom form? Rotom Wash, Rotom Mow, Rotom Heat, Rotom Fan, Rotom Frost, or the regular Rotom. Now, my favorite Rotom form is actually the regular Rotom. Now, I just love how it has Ghost typing, and back in Gen 4, all Rotoms were electric Ghost type, which was a pretty handy typing, and I'm glad that Rotom, the regular Rotom, still kept that, and I like to use it a lot in lower tiers. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll check you guys in my next video. Alright, peace.